Dear students, welcome to my third video class on graph theory. In the previous class, we have gone through the different types of graphs such as complete graph, bipartite graph, subgraphs, and so on. In this class, we will move to very important concept in graph theory called isomorphism of a graph. As we know already the definition of isomorphic function, say for example f is from a to b is an isomorphic function, then it is one to one and on to function. So using this basic idea, we discuss now whether two graphs are isomorphic or not with an example. Here, the basic idea of graph isomorphism is we are trying to figure out whether two graphs are similar or not. This is a simple idea of a graph isomorphism. To check whether two graphs are isomorphic or not, it is required to have two graphs. Let us consider a graph G. Let us consider a graph G with four vertices. Let us consider a graph G with four vertices. Say for example A, B, C and D. I will consider one more graph. I will call it as G dash. I will name these again with the four vertices, but the adjacency is not same as in G1. I will name these vertices are A, B, C and D. First and foremost thing is the pictorial representation is same or not is the first question. The answer to this question is they are not the same pictorial represent. So we try to make G is equivalent to G dash or vice versa. G dash is equivalent to G. Before going to the mathematical explanation of this isomorphism, we try to redraw the figure G dash. Like G dash is equal to, again the same number of vertices. Instead of taking AB, I will take it as AD. Instead of taking BC, I will take it as AC. Sorry, it is not D, it is D here, it is B. Since A and C are connected, I will draw a line here. Since A and D are connected in this graph, so I will draw this. B instead of B, here C. Now CB is connected and DB is also connected. Now, if you see this graph, G and G dash, they are one and the same. Now we can say G and G dash are isomorphism. But we need to develop a function f from G to G dash. For that, first and foremost thing is whether the number of vertices in G and number of vertices in G dash they are same or not. Here, we will not talk about adjacency here. Adjacent means edges. First important step to verify whether graph is isomorphism or not is number of vertices are same or not. So I will name this V as vertex set in the graph G, that is A, B, C and D. I will name V dash as in G dash. Vertices are A, B, C and D. Now we develop a relation f from G to G dash such that f of A, here A is belonging to this graph, G dash means f of A is equal to A. Yes, A is there, A. Here A is adjacent to B, I will take it as B as C here. F of B is equal to C. D is again capital D. So therefore f of small d is equal to capital D. And last one C, here B. So therefore f of C is equal to B. Here not only the number of vertices are same, their adjacency will also preserve. What is the meaning of adjacency will also preserve here? I will take an example. A is a vertex, I am relating it to capital A. B is a vertex in G, I am relating it to a vertex C in G dash, that is capital C. Here A and B are adjacent. Capital A and capital C is also adjacent vertices in G dash, such that f of A is capital A, f of B is C. So if A and B are adjacent in G, capital A and capital C is also adjacent in G dash. So we need to cross verify all these properties. Then only we can say a function f from G to G dash is isomorphism. In other words, G and G dash are isomorphic graph. Now we'll move to the theoretical definition of graph isomorphism. Sometimes two graphs have exactly the same form in the sense that there is a one-to-one relation between their vertices sets that preserves edges. In such case, we say that two graphs are isomorphic. So there is one more definition. The simple graph G1 and G2 with a two different vertex set and two different edge set. V1 and E1 are the vertex set and edge set for G1. V2 and E2 are vertex set and edge set for G2 are isomorphic if there is a one-to-one and onto function f from V1 to V2 with the property that, a very important property, as we discussed in the previous example, if A and B are adjacent in G1, if and only if f of A and f of B they are adjacent in G2. I will repeat it once again. If two vertices are adjacent in G1, if and only if the corresponding vertices f of A and f of B they are adjacent in G2, it is not only for any two vertices, it is for all vertices A and B in V1. Such function is called an isomorphism of a graph. Now we'll move to the examples. For example, consider a graph G1 and G2. The same thing we have discussed already. Still I explain the concept again by taking this example, how to solve an example in detail. Here G2 and G1 graphs are different graphs. Now we develop a relation f as follows. First and foremost thing, it is required to have a vertex set V1 and V2. We have developed a relation in this way. Here A and B are adjacent in G1. Correspondingly f of A and f of B are also adjacent in G2. Similarly, A and D are adjacent in G1. F of A and f of D are adjacent in G2. Similarly, we can develop all the relations of vertex set. Now we see the adjacency is preserved or not, means the degree of a vertex is similar or not, because not only adjacent but degree will also preserve if you want to see whether graph is a isomorphic graph or not. Now we'll see the degree of each vertex. In graph G1, degree of A, degree of B is 2, 2, and degree of C is also 2 here. Degree of D is also 2. Similarly, degree of U, degree of W, degree of V, degree of P is also 2. So here not only the number of vertices are same, the adjacency will also preserve. This important point. Adjacency will also preserve. As well, degree of each vertex is also same. So we can say G1 and G2 are isomorphic to each other. In the previous example, We have gone through f is from G to G dash is isomorphic. Now the question will arise, what happened if f is from G dash to G? The basic question is, if f is from G to G dash is isomorphic, what about an inverse function from G dash to G? Is it isomorphic or not? So we try to answer that question by taking up this example. So first I will read the question. Let G and G dash be any two graphs and f is from G to G dash be an isomorphism. Then prove that f inverse G dash to G is also an isomorphism. So we see the proof here. Since f is an isomorphism, so clearly f is also one-to-one and onto function. So therefore f is also invertible function. If f is invertible, f inverse G dash to G is also one-to-one and onto. We'll explain this concept again by taking a set of vertices here. Let a comma b, here a comma b means for any a and b here, for all a and b belonging to vertex set, a comma b is an edge between a and b which is belonging to E, if and only if f of a, f of b is belonging to E dash, because f is invertible. I will define a in such a way that a is equal to f inverse f of a, b is equal to f inverse f of b. Since if and only if is there, so obviously this is belonging to E dash, assumption. So if f of a and f of b belong to E dash, what about inverse? Inverse is belonging to E. So therefore this edge exists in E if and only if this exists in E dash. So therefore f inverse from G dash to G is isomorphic function. Now we will move to the next concept called complementary graph. So first I will explain this concept by taking up a simple example. Then I will move to the theoretical definition of this complementary of a graph. Let us consider a graph G with 4 vertices So I will name it as A, B, C and D. I will consider one more graph, that is G bar, again with the same set of vertices. Again the name is also same, A, B, C, D, but the adjacency will not be the same as in graph G. Now I will draw an edge from A to C, it's a black line, and D to B. Now observe these two graphs. Here A to C is not adjacent, B to D is also not adjacent. But in this graph, only edge exists between A and C and B and D. Now, G bar is called complementary graph of the graph G. I will repeat it once again. G bar is called complementary graph of graph G. So now I will try to redefine the concept once again. If a graph G bar is said to be complementary graph of a graph G, if two vertices are adjacent in G bar, if and only if they are not adjacent in G, if and only if they are not adjacent in G. Similarly, we can find out n number of complementary graph of a given graph. Say for example, Let us consider a graph G with 5 vertices. I'll name it as A, B, C, D and E. I try to find out the complement graph of this graph. To draw a complementary graph of a graph G, first and foremost thing is you need to have the same set of vertices. Means vertex set will carry to G bar also. So again I will consider the same set of vertices A, B, C, D and E. So according to the previous example, if A and C are not adjacent in G, A and C are adjacent in G bar. Let me start with this one. A and B are adjacent in G, therefore there is no edge exists between A and B. A and D, they are adjacent in G, there is no edge exists between A and D. But A to D is not, there is no edge. A to C, there is also no edge. So now I will draw an edge from A to D and A to C by taking similarly, I start with B. B to A exists, B to C exists. So there is no edge between B to E and B to D. I will draw an edge from B to E and B to D. C, there is edge between B and D. So there is no edge from C to A and E. A to C is done already. I will just join this. So all the edge exist which are not there in G. This is called a complementary graph of a graph G. Now we'll see the theoretical definition of a complementary graph. The graph G bar is said to be complementary graph of a simple graph G if the two vertices are adjacent in G bar, if and only if they are not adjacent in G. I will repeat the definition once again. The graph G bar is said to be complementary graph of a simple graph G if the two vertices are adjacent in G bar, if and only if they are not adjacent in G. Let us consider this example here where G is a graph with 4 vertices AB, BC, CD and DA. Since A and C and B and D are not connected by an edge in graph G, but they are connected in graph G bar. Similarly, AB is connected in G, A and B are not connected in G bar, A and D are connected in G, A and D are not connected in G and so on. And that G bar is given by this graph. Here A and B are connected here, but they are not connected in this graph. The only edge exists between A and C as well as B and D. So this is called the complementary graph of graph G. Now we'll move to the next concept called self-complementary graph. It is extension of a complementary graph. So first I will go through the definition of a self-complementary graph. A graph G is said to be self-complementary graph if G is isomorphic to G bar. Here G bar stands for simply complementary graph of graph G. I will repeat it once again. Here G bar stands for it is simple complementary graph of a graph G bar. Let us consider an example which is already considered in the previous definition. A G is a graph with 5 vertices. Here G bar is a complementary of this graph. Now we will see whether G bar is self-complementary or not. In the sense the given graph is self-complementary or not. What is the meaning of self-complementary? I will repeat it once again. G and G bar, whether G is isomorphic to G bar or not. As you know already, the definition of isomorphic. Number of vertices also same, adjacency will also preserve, then graph is said to be isomorphic. Even though pictorial representation is not similar, we try to develop one-to-one relation. In the sense, redrawing this graph G bar as in this format. So now, if you see the G bar and G, these two are one and the same, with notation is different here. I'll repeat it once again. G and G bar are one and the same, but the vertices, name of these vertices are different. So we develop a relation now in this format. A belonging to this vertex set, that is f of A belonging to this vertex set. I will name it as f of A is equal to A. B is belonging to this vertex set, f of B is equal to C. F of B is equal to C, f of E is equal to D, and f of D is equal to B, and f of C is equal to E. So now this relation we have developed, that is f is from G to G bar. Now we can say G is isomorphic. Now I will try to simplify it. I try to explain in a simpler way. If you are cross-checking a graph is self-complementary or not, first draw the complement of given graph and try to see the degree of each vertex is same or not. Here every vertex has 2. Here also all vertices have degree 2. And try to redraw it in this format exactly similar to it. If it exists, then develop a relation in this way. Then you can say graph is a self-complementary. Not every time graph is self-complementary. So for a particular sum graph, we can cross-check whether the graph is self-complementary or not. As we discussed earlier, the graph G is self-complementary graph. Now we'll see, try to develop a relation between the number of vertices as well as number of edges in G and G bar. So for this graph G, the number of vertices 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. For the same graph G, the number of edge 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 is also 5. Coming back to this G bar, I will take this is V dash. Number of vertices are there in G bar is again same. E dash is number of edges in this G bar graph. It is again 1, 2, 3, 4 and 5. So name it as 5. Now we add this E dash and E like this. The cardinality of E plus cardinality of E dash is equal to 5 plus 5, that is 5 times 2, that is 10. So we try to generalize it, the number of vertices and number of edges using the relation, that is cardinality of E plus cardinality of E dash, that is total number of edges, is equal to m into m minus 1 divided by 2. So this is a well-known property in a self-complementary graph. If graph is self-complementary graph, then the sum of two edge set is equal to m into m minus 1 divided by 2. So we cross-verify this for this example. Here m stands for number of vertices. So how many vertices are there? 5 vertices. So therefore, I will put m is equal to 5 here. 5 into 5 minus 1 divided by 2. So 5 into 2 divided by 4. So 2 2s are 4. It is 10. So the total number of edges what you got using this formula is same, exactly this. Now I'll use this relation while proving the number of vertices in the graph where graph is self-complementary graph. Now we'll see one important question. Show that a graph G is self-complementary if it has 4n or 4n plus 1 vertices where n is non-negative integer. So the number of vertices are represented either 4n or 4n plus 1. Let G be a graph where G is self-complementary graph here because it is given already with m vertices. I will name it different vertices m. So let G bar is a complementary graph of a G. Since G is self-complementary, G and G dash are isomorphic to each other. We now prove that this m vertices either it is equal to 4n or equal to 4n plus 1. We try to prove m is equal to 4n or 4n plus 1. Since graph is self-complementary and the number of edges are same in G and G bar, using the formula sum of number of edge in G plus number of edge in G bar is equal to m into m minus 1 divided by 2. Since the edge set is same for both G and G bar, I will repeat once again. Since edge set is same for both G and G bar, so therefore these two are equal. So therefore sum of 2 is 2 times E of G is equal to m into m minus 1. So therefore this cardinality stands for number of edges. I will repeat it once again. This cardinality stands for the number of edges. So therefore the number of edges E of G is equal to m into m minus 1 divided by 4. The number of edges is equal to m into m minus 1 divided by 4. Since here it stands for number of edges, it is always an integer. So edges can't be 4.5, edges can't be 1.5, edges can't be equal to 1.8. So either 1 edge, 2 edge, 3 edge, 4 edge and so on. So therefore it is divisible by 4 means either m or m minus 1 is multiple of 4. I will repeat it once again because a very important step in this example. Number of edges can't be 1.2, 1.3 edge, 1.4 edge, so on. Number of edge should be in this format, that is 1 edge, 2 edge, 3 edge, 4 edge and so on. I will repeat it once again. 1 edge, 2 edges, 3 edges, 4 edges and so on. So therefore this m into m minus 1 divided by 4 is also an integer. The meaning is simple, either m or m minus 1. Either m or m minus 1 is multiple of 4. Is multiple of 4. Please remember this line. M or m minus 1 is multiple of 4. So therefore either m is equal to 4n or m minus 1 is equal to 4n. So which implies m is equal to 4n or 4n plus 1. So this proves the result. Dear students, so far we have gone through the graph isomorphism and complementary graphs and self-complementary graph, and we have gone through some theoretical questions also in this concept, and we have explained this concept by taking a particular example. Even you can try n number of examples using this concept. Thank you.